Ask the Expert continues with Joel from K3C Credit Counseling. Send us your questions, 613-789-6559, extension 2803. Here to help out or give you some advice. Ottawa.morning@ctv.ca on email or Facebook, us, CTV Ottawa Morning Live. Joel, let's talk about, first I want to get to a Facebook question that came in. So let's start that up and have a look at it. From Lynn, I completed a consumer proposal in 2009 and was advised that my credit would remain in the lower margin for 3 years. Well, my 3 years is up in October. How do I reestablish my credit without having a credit card? I was hoping to apply for a small personal loan as well without a cosigner, without rejection. How do I do it? These seem like pretty complicated questions.
It's not that complicated.
Okay.
A consumer proposal is an option with debt. So if somebody is looking at an assessment, we would review the option of a consumer proposal. A consumer proposal is done through a bankruptcy insolvency trustee, and basically the idea behind it is that you're offering a better deal to your creditors than if you went bankrupt.
Right.
And you get 3 to 5 years to repay that debt. And you're offering back a percentage of your debt over time. So you're not paying it all back.
Okay.
You're paying back a percentage that is a greater percentage than if you went bankrupt, and it remains on your credit file for 3 years after the date of your discharge, after the date that you've completed your proposal. So in this case, I think she finished in 2009. Well, count the dates, the months, and around that time it should be purged from your credit report.
So would you suggest that she come in and see you and get that get it all worked out?
With that, I would talk to her trustee to make sure it's done. She can also order her credit file either through TransUnion or Equifax to see if it's actually off her credit report, and then there are ways that she can get her done from there. And as far as rebuilding credit, one of the great ways of doing it is through a secured credit card. So it's a card where you put some money down on it. They'll issue you a credit card.
Right.
If you don't pay it properly, they'll use that money to cut you off and pay off your debt.
And your limit, they keep your limit low. And
generally
like
it does. Yeah. I mean, it depends on how much money you put up front as well. So generally they're tied together, and it helps rebuild, put something positive on your credit while you're waiting for some of the bad stuff to come off.
Yeah, it's tough once you get in trouble, and that's what K3C is here for. But I keep hearing debt reduction companies, some of these amazing offers that I just look at it and I'm just like, how can they possibly do that?
How can they do that? And as a matter of fact, when you listen to some of the advertising, they're saying or making it sound like there's a government relief program out there, and there is no such thing.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you right now, there is no such thing as a government relief program. The government does not have incentives to help Canadians get out of debt. It just does not exist. And companies that are telling you that that is the fact, I'll tell you right now, it is not the fact. And I urge anybody that's getting bombarded by phone calls, and again, the government isn't into aggressive, phone call solicitations, and they're all over the place. The government doesn't do that.
Listen, that's a very good point, because I have to say, it seems like there is a program.
And it's very frustrating when I hear these advertisings, the advertisements about this type of. I'm driving thinking, how can you say that?
Yeah.
There is no such thing. So
good to know.
I just urge anybody that's saying, I'm going to start looking around, or I'm going to fall for some of these type of tactics, be very, very, very cautious, and make sure you do your behavior, you do your research, and
be educated on it.
Make sure you make the right decision. And like I said, we've been a member of the Canadian Association of Credit Counseling Services. There's a lot of members out there throughout Canada. So if even if you're not from around here, you can go down that website and they'll guide you to the right places. And just make sure that you're seeing the right people.
Stephanie is on the line. Good morning, Stephanie.
Good morning.
Hi, Stephanie.
Stephanie, you've got a question for Joel.
I do, Joel. So 7 years ago, I declared personal bankruptcy, and for a couple of reasons, I never received my discharge.
Okay.
My question is, after so many years, 8 years, what's happened to my credit profile or that discharge?
Well, you'd have to go back to your trustee that you went through your bankruptcy with.
Right.
Call them up and say, I don't have my discharge. What do I need to do? Generally, what happens is that you probably didn't do something. There are things that somebody needs to accomplish to get that discharge. It's either the 2 counseling sessions that are involved. You either maybe didn't make all your payments to the trustee. There might have been a conditional discharge on something. I don't know what it is, but it's up to you to give the trustee a call and say, I don't have my discharge. What do I need to do?
After 8 years?
After 14 years, if you don't have your discharge, you need to do the things you need to do to get that discharge.
Wow.
Yeah, I guess it just pays to stay in contact, I suppose.
It does, yeah.
Stephanie, hopefully that helps.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.
Yeah, I guess you have to continue to take the responsibility of that. And I didn't know that you had to stay in contact with anybody. You just think, declare bankruptcy. I basically do my 7 years of time in credit jail.
Is that people do get notifications. You didn't do your counseling sessions. You didn't do this. And sometimes it's difficult.
Yeah, exactly. Well, for whatever reason, sometimes there's extenuating circumstances as well. Yep. So I want to talk about coming up more about the process of when I first come into the office and things like that, what would happen, and we'll talk about that. You can phone in again with your questions, 789-6559, extension 2803. Again, it's K3C Credit Counseling. Joel is with us today talking about it. There it is. That's how you get a hold of us. Email to ottawa.morning@ctv.ca or Facebook, CTV Ottawa Morning Live. Ask the Expert continues with K3C Credit Counseling. Got questions? Let us hear it. It's up next on CTV Morning Live.